Hello one and all, welcome back to yet another Xbox video. And today, we'll be looking at this thing. I know that I gave you a sneak peek of what it is in my previous video, but for those of you who don't know, BAMO. Got an official debug kit console here. This version is known as the DVT4. It's based on the revision 1.0 motherboard, the one that has the little USB adapter or a header plate or board up here on the front, as well as the fan on the GPU underneath. That's what this is, 1.0. It's pretty much like most other debugs out there. It's got the MCPX2 chip and 128 megabytes of memory. Now, I will go ahead and just show you the one downside to this thing, and that's right here. Bam, bam, bam. Yes, it has been opened previously. I did not do that. It was that way before I got it, and the guy that I bought it from claims that it was open before he got to it. And so, because it was open, he had gone ahead and did a hard drive upgrade. I know, many of you are cringing. Oh, come on, the debug has been modified. No. But the way that I see it is that, well, with the debug, with the stock 8 gigabyte hard drive, that don't leave you much room for executables for the development environment on it. So I figured, well, it comes with a 120 gigabyte hard drive. In addition to the stock drive, I figured, well, I'll just put that 120 gig in and it'll work for me. Because I do plan to use this thing for development. Well, not so much development as it'll be helping others with development by doing data code dump or game data dumps using the debug environment. I still have to set up a PC with Windows XP and the Xbox neighborhood on it, but I'll be getting around to that soon. I just need to get into the mood to pull the old tower out that I have for this. But yeah, it's a pretty nice system. Really clean. The board looks brand new inside. The console casing is in good condition. The only problem it has is right there. You can see that it's got a little bit of a crack there on that mounting post, or the plastic there. But otherwise, it's in perfect condition. I do have to do a little bit of work to the files on it because the XDK launcher dash on it does work, but the Microsoft dash seems to be messed up, and I think that the hard drive clone that method that was used didn't quite get all the Microsoft dash data moved over properly. So I think what I'll be doing is that since it does load to the XDK dash with this upgraded drive, I will put the original back in, dump everything off of it, and then I'll move it all over to this upgraded drive. There's a Avalanche is installed on the hard drive. It'll make it easier to get FTP access for that to my computer. So, and of course, over here is the 1.4 gigahertz CPU modded one that I showed in a previous video. Quite powerful and quite fun, and works really well after I sorted a few bugs out. And I'm sure you've been seeing in a few videos, if you watched them, this over here. You get a better view of it. It's kind of dark in here. That's right, the official Xbox wireless adapter, 54 megabytes a second. I actually have two of these, and because they were cheap and I kind of liked the idea of using the wireless instead. So I use it for this console, and the second one, I thought about using it on here, but I figured I don't want to have to dump the contents of the disc that comes with them for editing the adapter. It comes with a disc that works on the Xbox to change settings. I didn't want to do that, so I'll just use the old-fashioned method since I have a long cable here going to my wireless router over by the computer. 25-foot cable, and I use most of it, so that's what I'll be using. There is currently nothing game-wise really on the hard drive. There are a few apps and whatnot, but it's pretty much all empty otherwise. You know, why don't we just fire it up just for the fun of it? I'll just plug the network cable in just because, even though I'm not going to be using it. Where are you? There you are. Get in there. Get in there. That's what she said. there's network, there's power. I like to keep these unplugged because both of these consoles have the Fox-Link power supply in them, and those things are known to catch fire at random times if left plugged in. And finally, my wonderful multi-out video cable that has composite, S-video, and component output along with stereo and 5.1 digital audio. Okay, that's plugged in. Sorry for the mess. I've been going through so much game stuff. Another neat thing that I got the console is this. Nice green controller to match it. Thanks, buddy. Guy who sold it to me is known as David Thomas on Assembler Games. Gave me a private deal on the console here. Nobody else got it because it was in a private message they offered it to me and I jumped. Won't give price either because he asked me not to, but I will tell you that I got it quite a bit below. Excuse me. Got it for quite a bit below what the typical going price for these are because of the fact that it has been opened and modified a bit. But that don't matter to me. It works how I want it. Fixed a few problems with the files on it, and the nice capacity will help out with the development that I'm going to be helping with. What's going on is that in previous videos I showed was known as a Chihiro launcher. I keep trying to say it wrong, but Japanese it's pronounced chi, like Cheeto. So, guy on assembler, J Fox Rocks, is making an application to help load Chihiro games on retail Xboxes that have had the double memory mod. 128 megabytes of RAM. And he's got pretty good progress so far. Previous videos I've done shows that Ghost Squad now works on the consoles, full game. You can keep that texture file in it that has to delete, and Mission 3 is playable. And what's funny is that the Chihiro games actually work on this CPU modded console at proper speed, since some of them, will go about double speed or something other with the upgraded CPU. Shadow the Hedgehog doesn't like to work on this thing, it's way too fast, but the Chihiro games do work just fine. Okay, enough of that. Let's fire this puppy up. It's nice and quiet, I've noticed, even though it has a stock fan as well as a GPU fan inside of it. Load the XDK dash. Skip that. There we go, XDK launcher. The last revision, 5933.1. That's nice. It has the retail game loader on it, so if I wanted to pop a retail game in, it will play. Got the audio console app there. Avalanche, which is a nice bonus it came with, that allows me to gain FTP access to the hard drive. And it also comes with the other usual stuff, the Dolphin Classic hardware demonstration thing, gamepad tester app, and the Xbox dashboard. And as I said, on this hard drive, that Xbox dashboard, the retail one, does not like to load because I guess it derped up a file or something, so I'll be putting the original drive back in and dumping it and then moving it all over to this upgraded one. But let's check out the Dolphin one. Check that out. I'd seen videos before showing this playing, done by Assembler, the owner of Assembler Games, and this showed that this thing is well over 1,000 frames per second. Now, I never believed it, but now I do. So it gets closer, the frames do drop a bit, but definitely not to the point where it would have trouble rendering. Because after all, I think that NTSC Xbox, it only runs like 30, maybe, I think about 30 frames a second. Maybe 60 since this is going component at 640 by 480 to my TV. But that's neat. And I can even pause it with the start button. And it'll just pause where it's at. And where it's paused there, the frame rate is pretty stable. It may alter, half a frame there? It's pretty neat. Okay, let's go back to the dash. See if I remember how to do this. Sorry for the black screen. I'm not sure, I just know that I hit the two triggers, the black and the white, and it'll go back to the launcher dash. It does take a little bit of while to to do that search it does because of the bigger drive capacity. Let's check out the the gamepad one. It's pretty neat. Hit the left trigger there. Up to 265. Right trigger 255, or is that 65? I guess 255. Left stick. Left thumb button. The D-pad. The start button. Back button. The right side stick. Thumb stick. A button, B button, X, and Y. While these are supposed to be just standard button presses, you know, on off, I like how that the harder you push, the more it gives. See, I'm just holding it a little bit there, but as I hold it down further, it goes all the way to the 255 max. I'm not sure if it'd be easy to take that into consideration or not for games, you know, make it where a light press with a lower value does something and a hard press does something else. But that's neat. And of course there's black, white, and black. Same thing, you can vary the pressure on them. Okay, starting back for the next page. Rumble motor test. I don't know if you can hear that or see it. That's the left motor. Easy. Sorry for the cutout there. Hit the stop button. Okay. Right motor. Varying the triggers will vary the amount that it runs. That's neat. Starting back. And now for the neutral zone for the thumbsticks. So the left one is red. It's a little bit off, but I could live with that. Right one. It seems to be good. And now it shows the range of the buttons here. Let's go with the left trigger. Now I like how that the buttons you press like A, I can just hold it full, or I can alter it just by the pressure I put on it. And then it shows unique values here. Enough of that. Enough of that. And we're back to the home. Let's see if I can figure out how to get back to dash again. Searching for Xbox executables, blah 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 blah. And that's pretty much all that's worth looking at. You know, Avalanche, not much there. The audio console does not work without a dev PC hooked to the network. So all it is, it just allows you to make tunes on the PC and then send it to the Xbox to play through the hardware here, see how it sounds. And the retail game loader doesn't do anything really that you can see. It just launch it and it returns to the dash here. I guess it just changes the code inside a little bit to allow for XBE titles to launch instead of just XBX development code only. So, and of course, you got your usual tools here, you know, network settings, system settings, certification tools, live tools, memory tool, unit tools, wipe the hard disk, restore, blah blah blah. That's pretty much it. Xbox debug console. Revision 1.0 base DVT4 console. It does come with the crappy Thompson drive, but I guess it still works. In fact, back. Let's see if we can make it launch a game. I'll just load that retail launcher to get it prepped. Dig my big, huge bag of CDs out here. Okay, we're loaded. Let's see here. Dreamcast games. Dreamcast. Xbox games. Do I want Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Mega Collections, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Conquer Live and Reloaded. Yeah, let's play Conquer. See if the DVD drive works. Should work, because the guy who had this before me was able to install the Avalanche from a DVD. So just open the tray. Let's see here, disc looks good. Let's pop her in. Let's see what it does. Light is flashing. Is it reading it? I don't know what's going to happen because this is the first time I put a disc in it. Let's see if launching the... Nope, it just goes back to the internet. I don't know how you launch a retail game from the Xbox. They're scanning. Yeah, is that Thompson drive going to have a problem? Wouldn't you know it, fine time for me to have to suddenly go to the bathroom. Yeah, it sounds like that Thompson DVD drive might be having some problems reading the original game disc. But oh well, even if it does, that's what I've got the Avalanche FTP for. Since I've got all those games dumped on the hard drive in this thing, I'll just pull them off to the PC, move them over here. Well, it looks like it's not going to read the game. Yeah, as soon as I open the tray, it goes to dash, so. Oh well, bad DVD drive, but that's okay. I could fix that, I think. There you go, Xbox debug console. Good overview of what it is, and I'll be using this for dumping game data from those Chihiro games with the loader so that the guy working on it can fix it up, because that guy doesn't have a debug console or even a 128 megabyte modded retail console, and well, I have both here so I can help out with that. Well, let's shut her down. Unplug the power. Don't want the Fox-Link power supply to explode now or burn. Hate to destroy something I paid a good price for. But there you go. And that's that. Peace out, folks.